Ron Goodall, FightHype.com. I'm here with the legendary Hall of Famer, Jim Gray. How's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good, good. This is such a big magnitude fight. 2 pound-for-pound fighters, generational fighters. How do you look at this fight between these two?
Well, it's the fight that everybody's wanted, and we rarely get that anymore. So we have an undefeated guy against the guy who's been, the face of boxing for an awful long time. He's been in every big fight, a lot of big fights for the past 10, 12 years. And so now we're getting them together, even though there is a division in weights, and of course Crawford's moving up. But this is what everybody wanted, and it's rare in boxing we get that anymore. So I think it's great for the institution to have this at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play with 55, 65, 70,000 people, however many show up. This is just a huge, huge event for boxing, so it's great to happen, and it's great that it's happening in Las Vegas where so many other big fights have taken place.
Many times when people jump up weight classes, it doesn't really work in their favor unless they get acclimated in the weight a little bit, try a couple filler fights. How dangerous is this fight for Crawford, and how likely is he able to upset Canelo?
Well, he seems to be prepared and ready for it, and yes, there is that danger. Look at what happened when Canelo moved up in weight against Bivol. So, there's a lot of examples, and there's examples the other way as well. So, it's hard to predict what is going to happen in a fight. That is why they fight. So for anybody to say they have a crystal ball and they know, I suggest they go down the hall here, because if they know it now, they'll end up leaving a heck of a lot more money in their pocket, and they'll be able to have that reading from that crystal ball. So nobody knows until they fight. Everybody has a plan, like Mike Tyson said, until they get punched in the mouth. So we'll see what happens.
My final 2 questions, just in regards of just what Crawford would need to do. I mean, I know that he's considered a pound-for-pound guy. He's elusive, he can switch, but at the end of the day, is it smart for him to box, or would it be a time where he has to stand his ground and fight Canelo a little bit like how Floyd and Bivol did?
It's hard to give a strategy until we see actually what transpires. So I'm sure he has a strategy, and I'm sure, he can switch on a moment's notice. So, Canelo's fought southpaws. He's obviously fought, orthodox. So, but for a guy to switch in the middle of a round, perhaps that'll be something that, could be a difference. It's impossible to say here. How's he going to react when he gets hit by somebody with this type of power, this type of weight? So, strategies are all great. Everybody can prognosticate and, tell you what's going to happen, but nobody knows. Anybody who tells you they know, you can turn off your camera because they don't.
My last question. It was that viral moment where you asked him, does it matter who Canelo faces? And I think he was mentioning something like it doesn't really.
Again?
Oh, there was a moment I think you asked Canelo before, does it matter what type of opponents he faces? And he kind of responded like, it doesn't really matter.
No, I asked him if he likes or dislikes his opponents, and he said, generally I don't give it, and you can watch it on on the internet. Thank
Awesome.
you, my
Appreciate
friend.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thanks.